My name is Jobby, and of all the things that I can talk about more than once, I never thought it would be Kamen Rider Hibiki. Now let me make one thing absolutely clear, I don't give a shit about Kamen Rider. And I'm sure the Kamen Rider franchise is a good time the same way as Power Rangers or Super Sentai is a good time, but for me, the tokusatsu genre was, not quite my template, unless it involves transforming mecha. And I'm sure there's Kamen Rider series that have those things, but we'll get to that another day. With all that being said, Kamen Rider Hibiki is alright with me. I mean, I don't know a goddamn thing about the show, but I did review a Kamen Rider Hibiki figure on my channel before. Also, check that video out. I think it's one of my most underrated videos. Because let's be honest, only like 2 people seen Kamen Rider Hibiki. The guy who requested the last video and the guy who sent me this figure. Let's just get into it. The painting and the sculpting on this figure is... What? Whoever thought this was a good idea, you were completely right. And the worst thing is, or the best thing depending on your fetish, is that this guy is part of a long series of figures of tiny-headed mongoloids. As a mongoloid myself, it's okay for me to say that. Fuck off, Tumblr. Bandai Souchaku Henshin line is a precursor to the famous SH Figuarts line. According to Mutroid X Productions, I don't know any of this shit. These figures date back to the early 2000s, which kind of explains the obvious flaw, because toy companies around that time simply did not give a fuck. I bet it was an easier sell for Kamen Rider fans. Have you seen the shit they're okay with? Oh my god. But looks can be deceiving. The figure actually feels really high quality. And call me crazy, but I think this guy actually has some die-cast metal. Of course, I believe this due to my cold touch technique. Metal in the feet, some in the thigh, some in the shoulder. Gives this figure a good weight and makes him feel very solid. Fuck you. The hands feel incredibly cheap. And because of the setback, the illusion of my video will be broken. You're gonna see a mix of footage where the fingers are there and where they're not, but that's only because I film a lot of these shots out of order. What, you think these videos take 1 hour to make? Put in your ass. So the Souchaku Henshin line has this armoring up gimmick, which is why the figure comes with so many accessories. And yeah, that's why this. Here we have the why are his fingers back? I thought you broke them. Didn't I just fucking say that I shoot these out of order? Kamen Rider Hibiki is a great design anyway, so making him look good in figure form should not be that hard. The figure feels even more solid now since the chest armor is also die-cast metal. The only real problem I have with the sculpt is that the head is too big. Ironic, isn't it? The main gimmick that was supposed to sell the toy makes the toy worse. So on his hips, Hibiki has a thing that I don't know the name of, but according to the back of the box, you can take one of these CDs and attach it to this thing, and I guess it's some kind of music player. I wonder what he listens to. Let's tune in, why don't we? Who gives a shit about Hibiki? I don't care about Hibiki! It's boring! This video's not gonna get a bunch of views, I can feel it. What a beautiful song. You get 2 more discs, and each of them can be plugged into this thing. And these things make me realize that this figure was a used copy, because you do get a sheet, and some of them are not on here. They're on here. No wonder this guy tasted funny, I might have AIDS now. You also get another thing, which I assume is this thing, but folded out. And that looks pretty good. But who cares about this weapon when you got his pair of drumsticks? Simply slide his trigger fingers into here, or if he doesn't have any trigger fingers, you can slide this into his thumb. And now Hibiki feels complete. The sculpting on these things look pretty good, but the paint is very messy. At least the stick faces look alright. One happy, one sad. When can we end the video? You just gotta be careful when handling these weapons, because they're made out of this really gross, flexible plastic. Which is why the hands broke so easily, because they're made out of a similar plastic. But with everything I find unsatisfactory with the figure, at least, ball joint at the neck, can't look up that far and look down that far. Rotation at the shoulder, arm moves out, swivel here, and at the elbow, elbow swivel, wrist swivel. The fingers can move out, just be careful when handling that, because ball joint at the waist, which allows for a little bit of crunch and arch. Swivel here. Ball joint at the hips, which allows for a kick, decent spread, double bend at the knee. Ball joint at the ankle, which allows for a beautiful pivot. And ooh, I must not forget the ankle. I don't care. Usability on this guy is decent, and it's actually fantastic considering when the figure came out. You could even get him up on one of these. I actually haven't said a normal in a while, so Bandai Tamashii Nation's Act 5 stand. Clip him onto there, and it makes the figure feel a lot more dynamic. No clever segues here, let's just do the size comparison so I can get some goddamn breakfast. Here's Figma Madoka Kaname, SH Monster Arts Godzilla, Masterpiece on the front, and another tokusatsu figure, the Solo Chogokin Megazord. Can we please take a moment of silence for the super imaginative Chogokin Hibiki? I actually really like that figure, but unfortunately, I lost it. It's probably somewhere in my box wall or my closet, but I'm too lazy to look. But all that remains of that figure are these few accessories. It's such a shame, because that figure was so good that it made me give a damn about Kamen Rider. But this figure, it's just alright. And unfortunately for you tokusatsu fans who will undoubtedly dislike the video, decent is not enough for me to care about Kamen Rider. I mean, go ahead and get it if you're some kind of Kamen Rider completionist, but for someone who doesn't even watch half of the franchises I talk about, this figure's not for me. But it's not terrible, except for, you know, despite my lukewarm reception of this figure, I still gotta thank Mutroid X Productions for sending me this figure for my birthday. Thank you so much, man. Your generosity is appreciated, and I love what you're doing. Go check out Mutroid X Productions. He's a super talented stop-motion animator, and he's more into this tokusatsu stuff than I am, so if you don't like this video, you'll maybe like his stuff. And if any of you guys want to send me some stuff, go ahead and send anything you'd like to my P.O. Box. That's P.O. Box 329, Norwalk, California, 90651. And I think it bears repeating, I'm not gonna send anything back, so only send what you're willing to part with. So someone sent me a painted model kit. Time to tear you a new asshole.